What is going on, everybody? Luna Classic continues to absolutely soar. Not only Luna Classic, USTC is continuing to absolutely rip, trading at almost 7 cents right now, up 600% plus so far. But in even bigger news, Benjamin Cowen is still trying to FUD crypto as best he can. He says it's decision time. Well, he says it's decision time for crypto and something's going to happen. Oh, I'm super. Thanks for asking. Then Richard Hart. Where is Richard Hart, by the way? Because the United States is trying to serve him a subpoena, but they can't find him all of a sudden. Like, where did you go? Where, oh, where is Richard? Where, oh, where is Richard? Where, oh, where is Richard? Where can Richard be? Speaking of Richards, Richard Tang is taking over the helm at Binance. And you know what he says? He says he is promising a shift away from outlawed behavior, which, well, according to the CZ Maxis, that's not really happening. He's not really doing that. CZ is so great. He's awesome. He's great. Well, no, actually, he's a criminal and he's been doing what's called crime. So, yeah, we're learning a big lesson from Richard Tang already, or as the CZ Maxis say, public enemy number one for the Illuminati, bro. Like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? In other news, U.S. crypto regulation is likely in a holding pattern until after the 2024 election, according to the Paradigm Policy Director. So, weird stuff happening all over the place. But the most important thing is Benjamin Cowen, he's super. Thanks for asking. This is not financial advice, but I'm always right.
It's your boy Bleed. Everybody listen up. Let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket. That crypto wallet. That bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 It's been a long day. I mean a long week. Maybe a long year, so let's get something clear. We're gonna stock up on some party favors later on. Tell everybody they're invited, you should come along. Best to bring your good foot. Ladies gonna be dancing on the ceiling, cocky and appealing, possibly revealing, getting sideways like a bridesmaid as she vibrate. If you a lightweight, hope you hydrate. We gon' tip the bottles back, busting out the fat sacks. People wearing costumes, chewing on a mushroom, something like a wonderland. Understand? Going down the rabbit hole with my kinfolk to another land. Damn, I said we do it like this. Magic carpet riders on some third eye shit. Mr. Pine Cones come a long, long way, so everybody get sideways. Sing it. I can't wait till Friday. Everybody's getting sideways. Pass the bottle back my way. Everybody's getting sideways.
All right, guys, if you've been following me for any length of time, you know that the only reason that Luna Classic and USTC pumped is because I called it. And I've been calling it for a while. I've been telling you guys exactly what's going to happen, and it happened. So if you got in on the big Luna Classic pump and the continued USTC pump, you're welcome. But seriously, it was coincidence, by the way. Am I the Lunc whisperer? A lot of people are saying, are you the Lunc whisperer? Not really. The situation was actually very simple to predict based on the location, based on the timing, based on everything. And there was part of it that I didn't get right that would have caused an even more significant pump. And the even more significant part to that was Terraform Labs did not get the opportunity right now to clear up Do Kwon's name, even though there's plenty of different things that are going on in the background that will probably lead to not just hey, Do Kwon is completely innocent of any and all speculation. Not just that, but a lot more going on in the background. And that lot more is that he's been a little more, if nothing else, innocent in some of the things that people thought were going on than what was really happening. Now, if you're not already, consider becoming a member to the channel. We do private and members only content every single day. And in addition to that, we're going to be doing some contests and prize giveaways. And some of the members only are going to be the first people that are available to win in those. So if you are into like winning and supporting me, by all means, become a member. Hit the join button down here, $4.99 a month, up to $99 a month. Why would you pay $99 a month for a membership with Believes Crypto? Because you like me, you know. And there's actually, by the way, I might add, there's 2 people right now who are members, long-term members, who've been doing that. And I appreciate those guys so much. Thank you so much for your support. And Luna Classic price. The question right now is what happens from here? So we're going to pull that up. The market, by the way, market just absolutely bombing out right now, down about $20 billion, I want to say. So let's check this out real quick. So this is what the chart looks like now when I move out here. You can see a little bit longer. Now we're going to turn off high IQ. High IQ is only for people with high IQs like me, of course. So what we got was this pump over here, right? This is what I've been telling you guys is going to happen again. So what we got was this move and then this move right here, right? So then I said, well, we're going to have to reverse that. Then I said, well, you know what? What's probably going to happen is we're going to get another breakout just like that. What do we get? We got another breakout just like that. Now, if you watched my video yesterday, what I said was if we consolidate along that range, well, actually it was the day before. I said if we consolidate along this range after this breakout, then the most likely scenario is another breakout. And if we do, then the target area was going to be around 1,400, right? Well, guess what? That didn't happen. What ended up happening was a very similar play out and a continuation of these chart patterns. So did we get the same chart thing to play out twice in a row? Yes, we did. Did it look just like this? Yes, it did. What does it mean? Well, I don't know that it means a continuation at this point, but should we get a continuation? Now, mind you, at this point, I'm telling you, should we get a continuation? And by the way, the continuation is a little bit muted at this point. So if we get a continuation, then you can consider that we're probably going to stair step our way up to around 15. Now, the question at that point would be, well, where is the big resistance? Like, do we have a spot here where, you know, we feel comfortable that there's probably going to be some kind of long-term, you know, problem area? Well, that area actually ends up being exactly where the breakout is right here. Because if you come over here and you look at all of the resistance that kind of takes place in this range, then what you're probably looking at is right around here. You know, make a fight, you make an argument on any little spot right there, but that seems to be the resistance spot. Well, coincidentally, guess where that breaks out? That actually breaks out exactly to where we seem to be heading right now. So it is entirely possible that what we're watching is not really this is not the continuation. This is not the big move for Luna Classic. This is just the start of what could end up being a big move for Luna Classic. Now, when we zoom out, then you have to consider that at one point, the high up here was this 59.53 right there on that big wick right there. What was the top? The top was 59.250. So 59.250 is our top right now. That's about 6x from where we are. So I don't think that we're in play for 6x from where we are right now. That doesn't make any sense, okay? However, we do have to at least consider what is going on here. And what is going on here is out of control. Remember, a couple days ago, guys, we were talking about this thing at 1.2 cents, and I kept telling you, like, it's going to have a breakout. It will have a breakout. And when it has that breakout, it's probably going to reject right here at 1.5 because it's been a long-term trend line. It has to break that trend line. If it breaks that trend line, it's going to have an absolute breakout. Well, what did it do? It had an absolute breakout. Now, Not only that, our lagging indicator, the one lagging indicator that we're using over here, is the 50 and the 200 SMA. And what it's telling us right now is that, boom, it is going into a big run. Now, if it continues in this big run, then the sky is the limit. Can it repeg itself to $1? Well, first of all, here's what we need to understand about what is going on right now and where it is right now. It is not repegged. It is not repegged at this point. So when we talk about that, when we say stuff like that, we do have to say it with the understanding that at no point right now is this thing repegged. So if there's any possibility or any opportunity for positive momentum, it has to be, quote unquote, on its own right now. There's no mechanism in place that's going to make sure that it stays wherever it goes. So this is, basically we're in the Wild West right now. So where it goes, who's to say? Now, I do think that this is probably at or near the top, because you have to consider what's going on in the background. Now, things that are going on in the background. First, right here. This is the 50% breakout. Following a silent pullback, the bulls are slightly these guys do not understand what's going on, right? This is a guy who's just giving you kind of the indicators on why it's breaking out. Doesn't have any idea why it's breaking out. He's just doing it to say that. Well, here's the actual reasons. First of all, there's been some discussions. And if we come over here, I guess I should show you the thing that started it all. Now, of course, as I told you guys before, there's a few things that are in play, but primarily amongst them is this right here. Set a spread fee to 98%, thereby effectively pegging USTC at 2 cents, and then reducing that to repeg it to 3 cents, and then 4 cents, and so on. Basically, what they're offering to do is build this thing back up to whatever the level is. Now, for anybody who's experiencing this right here, I can't swap my USTC for Lunc on Station. I'll click on the Station browser extension to connect my Station wallet, and nothing happens. Is it broken? I've been using it all morning to swap and trade, so no, it's not. The one thing that I will tell you, if you're having trouble swapping on Luna Classic in Terra Station, let's go over here and let me pull it up for you. So there we go. So the swap is enabled right now. You go to TFM web app for the swap, but here's the problem. The problem is when you're doing any kind of swaps or any kind of trades that you're trying to do. And by the way, there is a governance proposal that's up right now to upgrade to 2.3.1, and this is an emergency mismatch. So we need you to support that, and we need you to get that thing approved right away so that it can be deployed and upgraded. But the problem with the swap, I have no problem with the swap so far. And what I'm using USTC to fund it. By default, it uses AUTC, and it's not using Luna Classic, or it's not using USTC. So make sure that when you do the funding, that you do it for the right thing. That should fix that situation for you. Now, the other thing here is we've got OKX and Exodus. Can't move it, sell it, swap it, nada. Well, I don't know what it's paired with in your Exodus wallet, so I can't comment on why you can or cannot move it with your Exodus wallet. Lunc Exodus wallet support. Contacted by support, asking questions. I'm going to check here real quick to get sidetracked for just a moment. Yes, you can hold it, not buy or exchange. So you can hold your Exodus, but in order to change it, you're going to have to find out what it needs, because it's switching through the network. So if you don't have any USTC, if you don't have any Lunc, or if you don't, it might be that you have to trade USTC. So I would go and be very careful. Like, you might have to move something in, see when you connect your Exodus wallet. By the way, the easiest thing for you to do would probably be, and I'm not telling you to use a centralized exchange, but the easiest thing might be on your Exodus wallet, instead of going to Station, go to an exchange and put it on, like MEXC which supports Lunc, or use something like that that supports Lunc, because it'll unpair whatever it is and maybe move it over to a pairing that's more compatible. Again, I'm not telling you what to do, but that would probably solve that will probably solve a little bit of that. So, you know what I mean? That would probably give you it'll give you a favorable pairing, maybe, if you want to do it on whichever network. Just, you know, figure it out, and then when you swap it off, then it will repair it, like an auto repair it for you. So that helps. But again, that's just centralized exchange now tracking you. So again, we've got this social media post. This is the big thing right here. This is what happened, and this is why it got a little bit crazy. Now, remember, the first thing was we talked about the repeg. We talked about this. We talked about this spread fee being a potential that got a little bit of interest, and when that happened, that's when you saw this stuff start to happen right here. That's when you saw this little breakout, right? Well, this over here is a continuation of that breakout, because right after all of that happened, we got this next piece of news right here. In a social media post by trader QT, an official partner of Luna Classic Labs, the team made a massive purchase of approximately 25.6 million USTC for 500,000 at an average price of 2.1 cents per USTC. This move sent USTC spiking, fueling hopes that Terra Classic Labs can help revive and stabilize the cryptocurrency. So now that's because we're talking about these things. And look, this is easy money. And if Terra Classic Labs is going to be part, if this is going to become part of it, and there's going to be some push to make this happen, they know what's happening in the background. So they're getting themselves positioned for that big move and for that big play. So if that's the case, then what we're looking at right now could be the start, not the revival, but the start of the process that leads to that revival. And I know I'm hedging on a lot of that, but you know, I don't think that we're there yet because it's not done. So, but in the meantime, that did cause Luna to pump, and that did cause, of course, all of the rest of this market to go absolutely parabolic and crazy. So, in the meantime, Bitcoin possibly losing 37,000. Now, if you're following Dr. Profit on X, then you may be seeing you may be seeing something potentially happening there where it's going to drop down into the 33 range. Now, there is a reason to consider that on Bitcoin, you might not be looking at it going as bad as what we're saying, because look, you know, we've got that long-term trend line, and we're just bouncing right now at the long-term trend line. It's losing that position right now. If we lose that position, then we're heading down here to test the 50 SMA. Look at this 50 SMA on the daily. 33,600. So if we break down below this, then we are headed down, 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 down. Now, if we support this, then we're going to continue to consolidate, and there's going to continue to be this move right in here. You know, we'll break back up, maybe testing another high. Because look, if we get any kind of positivity out of this, then the next move is going to be 40,000. That's going to be the next test. Like if this rips again, then we're looking at 32.5, 39, then we're going to just rip into 40,000. Like that is the next play if we get a move. If not, then we're going to be retesting right here at least. So just consider that, if you will, for right now, that you know, the market conditions are not optimal, but at the same time, it's 38,000 Bitcoin. I mean, guys, we're talking 36,800. Most people were telling you we weren't going to see that at all. Everybody who follows me that I told 37,000 all year long is now looking at it like, I can't believe that Bleeves actually called this thing right. Like it's just absolutely ridiculous to me that this was happening, right? Well, it was not the end of it, by the way. This was only step 4 of my 5-step parabolic move cycle. This was 1, 2, 3. Now we're on 4 right now, and number 5 is up here at almost 50,000. So now I think we're at 50,000. We're gonna be at 50,000 probably pretty soon. So, you know, we're just like Living the dream, baby. Living the dream. If you are not already, let's check out High IQ and see what it says. High IQ right now is telling you to take profit on your position here. It did give you the long position down here on the daily. On the shorter time frames, it's giving you some buys and sells. But on the 1 day, which is the big deal, it's telling you right now, take your profit, because the next move, as you can see here, the next place that High IQ is telling you is your zone of taking profit is sitting at 42,500. So, you know what I mean? Yeah. Because you are always right, you told as for bone, cause we'll go up. What you going to say, Mo? What I okay, because am always right when say thing go up, down, go, bone. Bone am go up, also down, sometime go both way. Uh, Look, guys, I told you that bone was going to go up. Now, here's the thing. I didn't tell you bone was going to stay up forever. And if you didn't take your profit, that's your bad investment decision. That's you making a silly play. What I told you was, and let's go over here and let's look at the bone chart. And we can look at the bone chart over a long period of time, by the way, because if you need me to play it out for you, and you need me to spell it out for you, then I'll show you exactly what I told you was going to happen, because I got the lines still up here. I told you where it was going to go. I told you what it was going to do. And then it did exactly what I said. Now it's coming back down because it doesn't just stick there. It doesn't just stay there. Now, where is it going to go the next time? 83.8 cents. I already put the line on there for you. So if you're down here and you don't have it, then boom, you're going to end up at 83 cents pretty soon, I want to say. That's going to be a nice little reversal, a nice little revival on SHIB. It's not going to happen in the middle of a sell-off, by the way, just in case anybody is not clear how crypto works. But next one, 83.8 cents. Now, if it breaks above that, then what's going to happen? And by the way, if you're looking for a time frame, well, I'm going to look at this. And if this is continuing to come down, then I'm going to say that it's going to be right here. And that's going to be January, right around the time that the what do you call it? The ETF gets approved, which I assume is probably going to be around January 10th. So this thing is playing out that way as it's coming down. So if it comes down a little more at an accelerated rate, then the question is, does it become attractive to buyers? And what would that mean for bone? Well, if this comes down, this keeps coming down faster than it's currently coming, then it might be a little bit earlier. And it depends on the conditions of the market at that period of time. But if that's the case, this becomes your buy zone, and you're in a buy zone right now, and it's going to rip again. The question right now is finding the bottom. Once you found the bottom, then you'll find the reversal. I assume the SHIB metaverse is probably going to be the next catalyst to make something happen. But if you come to shibariumscan.io and you look at the level of transactions, remember this is something that you just can't predict. You have 50,000 transactions in a day, but then it goes back down to these low numbers. I mean, that just means that retail is not back, and retail is not fully invested into crypto yet. When they are, then this thing starts to rip again. But to consider and think that I'm going to be right about supporting and that it's just going to stick right there because I said that's nonsense. And you should, and by the way, I'm not giving you financial advice to begin with. I'm just telling you what I think is going to happen. I'm just guessing like anybody else about what I think is going to happen. And I invest based on what I think is going to happen. Now, where did I sell? I sold up here at $1.70. I didn't get the top. And as a matter of fact, you can go back to the videos. I sold way up here near the top, but not exactly at the top, because I said, this is what's going to happen. It's going to come back down. And then I said, accumulate here at 80 cents. And then it ran back up to almost $1 and I sold again. So, I mean, if you pay attention every day and you watch every day, then you'll see what I'm doing and you can make a decision based on that. So, woo, baby, woo. By the way, USTC still going. Luna Classic looks like it's still pumping, trying to catch itself back up to that 1300. It looks like the motivation is still there for that continuation of the move. So now if we can get back to it. Anyway, so we've got the big move there. Now, decision time for Ethereum imminent, says crypto analyst Benjamin Cowen. And now he says that decision time is soon. In my opinion, for the Ether Bitcoin ratio, I think that within the next few weeks, it could be as early as next week, but I think within the next few weeks, we should have a major decision on which way the Ether Bitcoin ratio is going to break. Now, listen, this is where we are right now. Where we are right now is Benjamin Cowen is so desperate to be right about something, he's no longer talking about the Ethereum price. He's no longer talking about the Bitcoin price. He's just talking about, well, the pairing is, I don't know which direction the pairing is going to go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that there's a 50-50 chance, 50% chance that it goes up, 50% chance that it goes down. That's your technical analysis from Benjamin Cowen at this point, because he hasn't been right about shit for a year. My base view has been that the Ethereum Bitcoin valuation is ultimately heading to around 0.03 to 0.04 eventually. And from that level, it can potentially start to go back into an uptrend against Bitcoin. Now, again, not a popular view, but there's no denying that it's been in a downtrend at least since the merge. And that is, by the way, very, very true. I anticipate that this is likely going to drop down, even though technically it's a descending wedge, and a lot of descending wedges actually break up to the upside. But I said that it's more likely to break to the downside because this is where the Bitcoin dominance goes higher. And a lot of altcoin market are just basically systematically bleeding back to Bitcoin. Now, what he's basically saying is that he thinks that Ethereum, and he thinks that Bitcoin's going to rip and that Ethereum is not going to go with it, is basically what he's saying. However, the other part that he doesn't seem to account for, or at least if he's accounting for it, he's not giving enough credence to it, is that if the Bitcoin ETF gets approved, the Ethereum ETF is right behind it, meaning that both of these are probably going to rip at the same time, or at least relatively soon. So the question would be, is it going to go to the downside for quicker? Are we going to see like a flash crash of Ethereum versus Bitcoin? And I don't think so. I think he's wrong again, but he could be, let's call it partially right. Like he could get a little bit of this correct. Maybe not the whole thing, but maybe just a little bit is going to work his way. Because God damn it, he needs the win. He needs the win desperately. He's been telling people, he's been wrecking people for damn near a year now. Like if you follow Benjamin Cowen, then you got people. If you're in Benjamin Cowen's YouTube and you're saying like, thank you so much for your investment advice. Because of you, then Miss Renatha Brown, I've made $37,500 per week in this bear market. And then somebody else says, oh, you did? What is Miss Renatha Brown's phone number so that I can call her? And then the other person says, yeah, but they don't have one. It's actually, you have to reach her in her Telegram, or you have to reach her on WhatsApp, and it's just going to be her WhatsApp number. You know what I'm talking about. You get it. It's in my comments all day long. It's a scam. Anybody telling you that Benjamin Cowen is helping them through this market, they are scamming your ass. Anyway, Richard Tang takes the helm at Binance and promises a shift away from outlaw behavior. I'm sorry, what? Outlawed behavior? Are you saying that Binance and CZ Binance was doing outlawed behavior? He asks to CryptoX. Why, yes, as a matter of fact, CZ Binance is a felon who's been breaking laws across the world in order to not mass adoption. He's been doing it to beat his competitors. Now, guys, we have to at least recognize that CZ Binance was doing this because he wanted to steal you as an investor from Coinbase, from crypto.com, from Kraken, from Tron, from anywhere that anybody else, any other centralized exchange. He was trying to steal investors from those. That's why he's breaking the laws. He's not doing it for mass adoption. He's not doing it because it needs to happen in order for mass adoption. He's doing that because he's trying to steal investors from other centralized exchanges. Now, that doesn't mean that what he's doing in the background isn't great. It doesn't mean that he's not still fostering mass adoption. It doesn't mean that he's not still overall good for the space. But it does mean he's still a criminal. Binance, however, has made amends, tried to fix their situation so that they can continue on. And one of the biggest people in the space right now who's a supporter of Luna Classic and USTC. His name right now, Richard Teng. He is a big time Lunc supporter, and we're going to see a burn happen in a couple of days from Binance again, probably another billion or so being burned. Not a huge amount, but some being burned. But we might start to see some innovation coming from Binance. Remember, Binance has been aiding and helping Lunc at different moments when they need something. So it's very possible that we end up getting some very positive stuff coming out of Richard Teng over the next couple of months. He's got a lot on his plate. He's got a lot that he's got to do. But at the end of the day, he is the new guy in charge at Binance, and he will steer this ship back to mass adoption, mass accept. Because look, the space is better when Binance is running hard, running fast, and dominating the space. So that has been good for mass adoption all of this time. So we should at least consider that we want that to happen. Again, if you haven't already, by the way, consider subscribing, becoming a member of the channel, hit the join button down there, and that certainly helps me out tremendously. In the meantime, have you guys seen Cryptonomy? Because I'm making a few bucks. Cryptonomy.finance is what you need. Cryptonomy Ventures right now, they support forward-thinking entrepreneurs and propel the crypto Web3 ecosystem forward, supporting Cryptonomy's mission to empower global economic freedom. If you are interested in this, then click Get Funding, and then you can get started right away. Previously, we talked about our flexible spending, and we were going to make some deposits. So I'm going to make a few deposits right here. We're going to do Bitcoin. I'm going to throw, let's do it. Why not? And we're going to do 12-month staking. 76.9% is the fixed rate. Now, in the event that you want to enable monthly interest, we do this right here. That changes the dynamic here to 56%. I don't need it, so I'm just going to take this and I'm going to hit continue here. And I'm going to agree to the terms and conditions, and we're going to go ahead and stake that. Let's stake a little bit with Quant right here. We're going to use ETH because I've got a little bit of ETH on the sideline over here. We're going to use our max ETH 1.29. We're going to put that in for another 12 months on Quant as well. Go. Let's pop in here on some Tether Gold and see what happens there. We've got a little bit of XRP in the wallet. Let's convert a little bit of XRP over here into Tether Gold right now. We're going to pop that in right now. Read the terms and conditions, and we are done. All right, now we're gonna pop in a Tether here. We got 4,300 bucks in Tether. We're gonna pop in max right here, 59.6%. Now you might be noticing the percentage right there is not as great. Well, this is a stable coin, so the rate of return on that was gonna be just a little bit less. We're gonna hit continue on that one. Boom. We are now holding Tether as well. So we've got a whole bunch over here. Now we're gonna come over here. I'm going to hit refresh right here. These are all my holdings right now. I've got a little bit staked. You saw me do that before. Put a little bit in here before. Much better on XRP, Ethereum, and then, of course, this is in the fixed rate category, but very good rates right there. You can see that those are some really, really juicy rates. Finally, over here, if you want the big returns right here, it is all about the Launchpool. So if you haven't already, go check out the Launchpool. Launchpool's got some great returns, great yields. All you have to do is create a contract. The investments are going to start paying themselves off. So make sure that you guys are checking this out. Links are in the description down below. There we go, guys. Make sure you check that out. Richard Teng of Binance shifting away from outlawed behavior. And then U.S. crypto regulation is likely in a holding pattern until after the 2024 election, says the Paradigm Policy Director, Justin Slaughter. He explains why progress on U.S. crypto regulation is likely stalled. And he's given an idea. He thinks that basically what he's saying is that he thinks that the bipartisan crypto bill is probably dead on arrival, that they're not going to be able to get anything passed because this is an election year and nobody wants to shift their tip their hat and let people know what happens there. So next up, the SEC faces difficulty in serving lawsuit to Richard Hart. Have you thought about just going to hang out at the Louis Vuitton store on Fifth Avenue? You know what I mean? Like that's where he goes to buy all his purses and stuff like that. So on July 31st, the SEC filed a lawsuit against Hart. Now, the SEC is encountering difficulties serving a lawsuit against Richard Schuler, also known as Richard Hart. The SEC alleges that Schuler sold unregistered securities, and despite requesting the Ministry of Justice of Finland to serve the lawsuit against Schuler in Helsinki, there's been no confirmation of successful service. So they have not yet served Richard Hart with the subpoena that they wanted to. So good times. I guys, I don't give a shit if he evades them the entire time. It's gonna be funny. It's gonna be interesting to see it happen and watch it play out. So I am absolutely fascinated by it. So good luck to that guy. Why doesn't Binance just sell 10% shares ownership to BlackRock? After that, there are no problems in the USA. Ooh, that's a slight at Coinbase, in which BlackRock is now a 10% investor. Well, in order for that to happen, then Binance would have to become a publicly traded company. And in order for them to become a publicly traded company, they would be registered with the SEC to begin with. And then they would be getting their shares bought and traded on the open market, not the private conspiracy thing that you're thinking of right now. If they did that, then they would also probably get 10% shares from Binance and probably ERC-21 shares as well, who just, by the way, sold a significant amount of their Grayscale Bitcoin trust shares. So there's plenty of opportunity for BlackRock to make money out of this market. And if it's a publicly traded company, then BlackRock will make money off of that publicly traded company. That's what publicly traded means. It doesn't mean like vast conspiracy to control the government or whatever that, whatever the wild ass allegation is about BlackRock is, look, BlackRock is going to pump your bag. So be happy that BlackRock's going to pump your bag, and they still won't control Bitcoin. They still won't control everything. They don't have the capital to do that. They have the capital to control a good portion, by the way. So I don't want to say that they can't control a significant portion, but they don't have the capital in order to just throw at Bitcoin in order to hold half of it. At this market cap, it sounds like they might, but they don't. So we'll see what happens, but yeah, you'll be fine. Anyway, so let's get into we're gonna get rid of that one right there. If you haven't already, certainly go check out Muskrat. We've got a bunch going on in the background. There's we're going to be going in a different direction with a lot of different stuff over the next couple of days and weeks. With you're gonna start to see something radical happen at Elon Muskrat. So we're gonna see how that plays out. Yeah. Now, and here we go. It's going to take 5 years, Lunc. It's going to take 5 years. Well, and for anybody who says you're up 700% right now, if you're holding your USTC, if you bought the bottom, so it's not going to take 5 years. It only took you a couple of days if you bought the bottom. And also, if you were in Lunc just a couple of days ago, then you're up 75% right now. So to get a 75% gain on your investment, that only took 2 days. So it's not going to take 5 years for Luna Classic. However, if your point is to get to $1, then I would venture to say probably 8 years from at least right now. More likely, well, let's call it 6 years. Let's say that 6 years at a minimum, maybe 7, because if you take 5 years, then you're saying that the bull run probably starts in 2024, caps out in 2025. So now we have to get to the next bull run, and that's at least 6 years away. So we're not going to get at the beginning of anything. We're going to get it towards the end of a bull run. So you're probably wrong about the time frame, but maybe off by about a year at best. At best. So it could be that happens. But in the meantime, to get to 1 penny, it's not going to take that long, and your life would change at a penny or a dime. I mean, that's the thing to consider. Should I buy UST, Lunc, or Terra Luna? You should buy all three. I mean, you really should just kind of hold on to all three at this point. The one thing to consider that you should at least be aware of is that there are radical things that happen with Do Kwon and Terraform Labs. Remember, this stuff that happened with Terra and Luna will happen again with their Luna 2.0. Like, they're going to come up with a mechanism by which all of this stuff is happening. They're just building the foundation right now in order to do it all again. And when they do it all again, then your Luna that you're holding right now, which I think everybody who was holding Luna Classic at one point, like I think I have like 500 Luna. or 600 Luna, something like that. I haven't bought any, but I was given some because I was a holder way back in the day of Luna tokens. So that became Lunc. So I have like 600 Luna tokens. I'm just going to hold them forever. And if they go up to $10, then I have $600. It was at $20 at one point, by the way. If you go look at the Luna chart, let's swap back over to this format here. And if you come back over here, then you can see that at one point, Luna, this is not, well, right here, it was up at $9. Let's call it that. So it's about $9. So when it ran up to $9, then it was about 10x from where it is right now. So that 600 was 6,000. You know what I mean? Or something like that. So, I 4,800, 4,800. It's like 480 now. So 4,800. So that's a pretty good run. And this was just the speculative pump that was happening at the very beginning of this. That's not even, where it's going to end up going later on. I mean, the volume right here is 175 million. Year to date down 33%, but 3 months it's up 100%. I mean, you just have to go back here and do the math on it. Luna is going to have, and look, they're going to repeg at some point. Luna, not Luna Classic, but Luna is going to repeg to another stable coin at some point. And when it does, what's going to happen? Well, you come back over here and you say that Duquan and everybody involved is going to want to outdo themselves. And what is going to outdo themselves? $119. That's what Luna Classic was when it was Luna. $119. So what is the goal right now? You guessed it, $120. That's what they're looking for Luna right now, to try to get to 120. And remember, they haven't even started burning tokens. They haven't even started a process by which they've repegged themselves for Luna 2.0. So, don't fade any of this. It's all going to have a massive pump. And when in doubt, zoom out, right? Well, when you're in doubt, you zoom out, and what you see on USTC, of course, I couldn't zoom out, right? But when you zoom out, then you're just looking at USTC broken off at about 10 cents, right? So it's got a long way to go to get back to $1. When you pull out Luna Classic, it's got 7x to go from where it is right now just to get back up into, or 5x, to get back up to the local high of Lunc. But it's got a long way to go after that, because then you start looking at, well, what is the market cap on it? When you look at the market cap on Luna Classic, then you're looking at, where are we at here? It was 450, so it's going to be down here. Terra Luna has a $497 million market cap, and circulating supply is 589 million tokens. So at some point, that supply is going to start to get burned away. And when that starts to get burned away, that's when it's going to get really interesting, because this right here from 497, what if this is 490 billion? Well, that's 100x from where it, or I'm sorry, 49 billion, which is way up like where Luna Classic was the last time. So can that happen again? It's going to happen again, right? So we're looking at $80 at least Terra Luna, 100x from where it is right now. And then what if they start to burn the supply down? And what if this supply suddenly is under 100 million? I mean, we're talking about ridiculous numbers that this thing could go to. Now, because they've done the Binance thing of trying to manipulate your opinion of everything, we do have to do this and go check out where Luna Classic is right now. And Luna Classic market cap 692 million. So what happens when this one goes up and starts to have a nice big run? And then when we start to really destroy this circulating supply, 5.8 trillion is the current circulating supply. This thing is going to be, and by the way, I do want to stress this right now. And I got to say this so that everybody understands. This is happening without significant burn. This is happening without significant fire. This is just speculative money coming in right now, with people saying, you know what? This is going to go crazy when this market gets here. This is life-changing stuff that we're holding on to. So hold on to your Terra Classic. If you get 10x from here, I would not recommend that you sell. If you get 100x from here, I mean, do what you want at that point, but wait for 100x. Wait for this thing to really get going. 100x from 692 million to 69 billion. Can that happen? I don't think so. I do want to stress that I don't think that this is going to come from 69 billion market cap, but it should be easy for 30 billion market cap. Now, for a 30 billion market cap, if you burn half of the token supply in a radical spread, if you really get down to it and you really start to do an aggressive burn cycle for trading volume, if you really get down to it and you start to burn tokens with this process, then guess what? Then it becomes very, very easy, almost elemental for that to happen. Now, the reason that I say that is I want you to remember when Luna and Terra were first pegged together, that was, I want to say, August of 2020. By May of 2022, which is about 16 months later, when the collapse happened, the circulating supply of Terra for Luna went from 1 billion down to 343 million, which means that 66% of the market had been burned by that pegging between USTC, then called Terra, and Luna. So if that happens and we get this done just right around now, then you're talking 16 months from now, right around the spot where this market should be at an all-time high or getting near an all-time high. If that were to happen, then you are looking at least 100x. Now, what I said was 300x because I believe that it's going to go to 2.8 cents in this next run. Why do I have that in my mind? I don't actually remember, but you can go back and look at my old videos because I kind of did an analysis where I thought, I was just working out the math on where everything would go or could go or should go. And I really looked at it and thought, you know what? It makes perfect sense for this thing to go to 2.8 cents, almost 3 cents before we get to the end of this market. So, yeah, that's what I think is going to end up happening. Liquidity heat map, by the way, if you look over here, then you can see Bitcoin breaking down and you can see that we're going down into this 36,850 area. If we get into that area, then it looks like a reversal could be on tap and another shot at 38. Because here's the thing. If you look up here and you look at all of this right here, all of the good investors, all of the, you know what I mean? You know what I'm talking when I say that, right? Wink, 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 good investors. All of them are saying that we're going down to 36, we're going down to 33. All of them are making this, this is what's happening, right? So that's causing you to start taking a bunch of shorts here, high risk shorts, by the way, high risk, high leverage shorts to ride this all the way down to the bottom. And you know what happens when that takes place? Then the traders, the real ones, they come in and they destroy you and they annihilate you and they wreck you. Okay, that's what's probably getting ready to happen. There is way too much money sitting in this range right now for this market to capitulate and start to come all the way down. It really doesn't make any sense because the money exists right now. So what I would say on the 12-hour is that we're looking at maybe 36.6 as a downward movement, and that's because we've got this right here. So I would be looking at Bitcoin to continue down just a little bit. Then I would be looking at an exciting level of reversal as it goes down here, and then it comes right back up here and hits this line right here. That's a big liquidity number right now. That's, let's call that 15 at about 37.7. So that's in the 12-hour. Now, when that's a minimum, by the way. So that's what I'd be looking at as the lowest port. But over here, we've got 23 million sitting here, 26 sitting here. That's 37.9, which means that we're getting up into that 38 range. Now, when we get into the big boy level of our broadcast, then you're getting up here into this 38,200 range, which is because all of these guys have been convincing you that you need to go short right now and that's how everybody's going to make money. Well, when they're telling you to do that, that's a setup. That is a setup. So all of this money is kind of sitting in this range. Doesn't mean that it's not sitting down here either, by the way. So, but I would be, look, I think the market is very positive. So I would venture to say that you're probably looking at something big getting ready to happen on another big pump. Okay. Now, for those of you that didn't, WAGMI 2446. I hope that you went through. Now I did, by the way, I sold at 1800. I'm waiting for the dip in order to get back in. because I told you guys that was my plan. So I did want to stick to my plan. I'm still holding my NFTs, but I'm not holding WAGMI now because I got in on this one. Now, it did continue to pump, and that annoyed the shit out of me, but not enough for it to matter, because the important thing for me is to follow my plan and get my profit, and anything that goes up always comes back down. So I'm not really worried about it not coming back down. I think that it's going to come back down a little bit, and then I'll be able to enter back into a better position with more tokens for the next time it pumps up like this. Now, when I look at it overall, that I'm seeing that, this is the area, the last time, this is the capitulation sort of spot. It bounced up here for a third time, but we thought it was going to go break out right here, of course, and it rejected, and it came all the way back down here. Not for long, by the way. I want to add, like, this is every couple of months. This is breaking up and down and breaking up and down. So this is a great opportunity, in my opinion, for a big accumulation for me. Now, I don't want to be wrong about it. I don't want to be wrong about it, but it's okay. Like, I've made a bunch of money off of WAGMI, so I'm good for right now. And I want to, I do want to get back in because Scott's my guy. I want to support my guy. So I definitely want to, make a bag off of that. Speaking of my guy, let's talk Ben Armstrong. We got 1082 on the chart right now, not holding up very well. But here's the thing. If you guys, and follow me here for the logic, we're going to move over here to the USTC pairing for this one. But if you look at this right here, the last time we got down into this number, that was the bounce area right here at 1067, 1070, which is where we are right about now. And what did we do over the next couple of days? We rounded our way right back up to about 1200. Now, will that do the same thing? I don't know that it'll do the same thing, but I feel like at this point, we're at the bottom or near the bottom. I'd like to see a little more wicking, because what I want to see is another big wick like that. If we get a big wick like that, then we're off to the races, right? And we bounce back up a little bit. But what I'd like to see is this get eaten up just a little bit. This is a daily, by the way, on the 1 hour. We got a nice little wick down here, by the way. So, oops, didn't want to do that. But if you look over here, we're getting the bearish crossover. So I want to play the bearish crossover out. So, I'm going to wait before I do any more right now. And what I want to see is a move back up into this range. So if that is a range, then, where are we right now? Up to here, that's about a 5% gain, and maybe then some. What we would like to see is about 20%. You want to see about a 20% return on it, because you're paying, I think it's 1% and 3% taxes on it. So you want to see a little bit of that play out. So let's see what happens on Ben over the next little while. As far as the rest of the market goes, we're still selling off. As you can see right now, full capitulation right now in force on all of crypto. So we're seeing that downward pressure, but we're not seeing it in Luna Classic, not in USTC. We're seeing a lot of sell-off, though, and I don't know. That's we're starting to break down. As you can see right here, we are still breaking down. Now, these wicks right here, that means that the bulls are defending very well. So make sure that you look, that we haven't given up yet. The bulls are still defending all the positions. So it is entirely possible that this market starts to rip and reverse very, very quickly. Now, that's no guarantee, but the market doesn't look as weak as you might think. Like, it's not playing out in that picture perfect capitulation that you would look at. So we saw the massive sell-off event here at 4 a.m. Then we saw a massive sell-off event here at 7 a.m. But that thing got eaten back up. Now, then they said, oh, no, we got to sell down. We got to sell down. We got to sell down. Well, this is your short profit area. Now, could the reversal be on tap? And if it is, how far does it go? So, we could be looking at a big reversal. So, but let me know what you think, guys. It is time for me to go. It is get to work time. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you, that you take the time every day to come over here and check me out in my little neck of the woods. I certainly appreciate that. But one more thing here. We do have JP Morgan says dump after Bitcoin ETF. Bloomberg says pump. Who's right? Okay, so who's right? Is Jamie Dimon ever right about Bitcoin? JP Morgan Jamie Dimon, they are lying to you with everything they say. And they're lying to you with everything they say because that's what they do. That's who they are. It's a testament of their character. Jamie Dimon is a liar. He's a manipulator, and he's going to tell you the wrong thing because what he wants to do is he wants to get you to sell. If you sell, he buys. That's the way that it works. Anyway, not financial advice. My name is Blaze. I'm always right. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll talk to you again very, very soon.
I can read a chart like Superman, and I've got a show that has a lot of fans. I'm streaming every day and almost every night, and I bought some Bitcoin 'cause I see the light. They call me Bleeves, I'll do any chart you want to. They call me Bleeves, they call me Bleeves, I'll break a crypto wallet down for you. I built a crypto channel with a YouTube stream and all of the YouTube shillers. I'm in a dream, but I stay up late to get my views. And I stay up late just to give you guys the news. Yeah, they call me Bleeves. I'll do any chart you want me to. They call me Bleeves. I'll break a crypto wallet down